Happy Monday, everybody. It's your boy Adam back with another Fat to Chubby little video update for you guys. So I had another great weekend. I had a lot of time with the family, but I also got to do this 51-mile bike ride up in Cleveland, Texas called the Rock and Ride. It's actually the third year they've done it. And great ride. I finished way ahead of my own predicted time. I was happy to finish it under 4 hours. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, if it was flat, I could do this in 3 hours and 20 minutes. But I ended up actually finishing it in 3 hours and 11 minutes. So, kudos to me. Yay, pat myself on the back. But during that ride, there's long periods where I thought I was going to quit and it just really sucked. So instead of quitting, I really just decided to embrace the suck. I knew what I was getting to. I knew I could do the mileage. I should have grin down and bear it. But during that time, I kind of got lost in my own thoughts and started thinking about body types as people were passing me. The tall, slender, very stereotypical cyclist type person was passing me by. I was getting pissed off. I was getting really mad because I know how hard I've been training and I've been consistent in my riding. I'm like, why are these assholes passing me up and just pissing me off? But then I started kind of really thinking more about body types and what I'm good at, and the powerlifting piece is great, but I also have a lot of stamina and my compact muscles. So I was like, all right, let's just focus on being the tortoise here, not the hare. Just be the tortoise, Adam. Just be the tortoise. And the cool thing is I ended up passing up a lot of the people later on in the ride that whizzed past me in the first 15, 20 miles. So I definitely got my comeuppance, as they say. I think that's the right term. Anyway, so on the topic of body types, I'm kind of like body type, Schmody type, right? So it's good to know what your body type is. If you're endomorph or mesomorph or ectomorph, I mean, do your own research, figure it out on your own. But definitely do that. I mean, take the time to get to know your own body from the outside as well as from the inside. So I know doing my research on it, everything seemed to make a lot of sense. I'm short, I'm stocky. Sometimes I have a neck, sometimes I don't. Right? I mean, it's one of those things where I really started to lean into it. Okay, what am I good at? What is my muscle type? Best responsive to stuff like that. So really, I would say do your research on the body type and really lean into that. Lean into your body type. Figure out what's going to work for you and to be most effective and most efficient for your body type. But also think about your genetics too. I think a lot of people overlook that your family does come from somewhere, and at some point your family was nomadic and survived on X, Y, and Z foods. And I think there is some value in trying to be traditional in that sense with your diet. But at the end of the day, I would say do your own research. But what worked for me was to build my diet, my exercise around just basic foods, basic things, but also thinking about my body type and genetics in there. But at the end of the day, just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. If you don't know how to cook, this is a great time to learn how to cook. It's the pandemic anyway. Everyone's supposed to be not doing anything, but just exercise, cook at home, try new recipes. There's a million websites out there. You can learn to cook pretty easily right now. But that's kind of my soapbox about body types. I mean, just do your research, figure it out. If you're tall and lanky, lean into it. If you're short and round with no neck, lean into it. That's what I did, and it worked for me. But with body type comes stereotype, and that's one thing that I absolutely hate. I hate it. I'm a short, round, stocky guy with no neck. I'm 5'6" on a good day, 280 pounds, and BMI says, I'll be honest, my BMI says I died back in 2007. I mean, my BMI says I'm dead. It's that way, but luckily my doctor believes in me, and she says that I'm perfectly healthy based on my blood work and everything I'm doing. So hey, BMI, it's old and antiquated. Don't dwell on that. I've had some people in the groups I'm in talk about BMI a lot lately, and it's not something to dwell on, but just focus on yourself and your blood work and your heart health and your overall health, and you'll be fine. But you don't want everything to define you, who you are. So I did this race and I thought I did really, really good. I felt really, really good about my finish time with 3 hours and 11 minutes. I got back to across the finish line and I was just drained. But the first thing I want to do is just strip all my sweaty clothes off. So I went back to my vehicle and I changed clothes, and I put on a t-shirt and shorts, and I put my hat on, and I walked over to the finish area. Grabbed some food and some water and a beer, and I sat down and started eating, and more and more people started coming in. People that passed by me, that I ended up passing later on in the ride, and it was hilarious to me. And I wish I would have videotaped it. So I have this. I'm sitting down there, looking like I look. Totally not a stereotypical bicyclist or cyclist, right? Short, round, stocky guy, no neck, having my tacos, chilling out with my beer, and this older woman sits down next to me, and she's like, "Whoo, yeah, that was a rough one out there. Did the whole 51 miles." I'm like, "Hey, that's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, I did the same. I finished up about 30 minutes ago, and I changed before I got over here." And I didn't say it being braggadocious, but I kind of was like, "Look, this lady is talking." It felt like she was kind of talking shit to me, like I was a helper, and she did this great thing. But when I told her I'd finished about 30 minutes before she got there, her jaw literally dropped and hit the floor. And it was amazing to me. It was this huge ego lift. I mean, I already felt great for finishing it, and those hills kicked my ass. But the fact that this tall, lanky cyclist woman looked at me and immediately assumed that I didn't even do the full 51 miles. And then when I did, she looked completely surprised, and the words literally just stopped coming out of her mouth. And she was like, "Whoa." She's like, "Oh, that's great. That's great." So at the end of the day, I will say this: learn your body type. But at the end of the day, body type, schmody type. Don't let it define you. Don't let it hold you back. Lean into it. Embrace it. It's who you are. You are made perfectly imperfect. Just lean into it. Learn to love yourself. That's another big key of this one, I guess, beyond the diet, the exercise, the positive mental attitude. You have to learn to love yourself, right? This is a journey we're all in together. And don't ever feel like you're a lone ranger. I mean, just don't. Just trust me. Your worst day is someone else's dream day, and it could be their best day. So I'll leave you with that. I love you all. Thank you all for the love and the support, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, all that fun stuff. Let me know what's on your mind. If you guys need help, PM me, reach out to me, direct message me, put a link in put a message down on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. If you need to talk, you want to chat, you have something on your mind, let me know. Again, to Adam, FATtoCHUBBY on all the good channels. That's all I got. Have a good Monday.